My name is Bryant. I'm 17 years old, and I've been lucky enough to live not only in different parts of the United States, but Europe as well. My father played professional basketball. He played for the Philadelphia 76ers, the Houston Rockets, and the San Diego Clippers. He played professional basketball for 8 years, and after his 8th year, he decided that it would be best for him to move on and to take his talent elsewhere. So we packed our bags and moved to Italy, where he played professional basketball again for 8 years. At the time, I was only 6 years old, and I was pretty much clueless about the whole situation. But my parents basically told me, Kobe, you're going to an Italian school, we want you to learn a new language, and when you're young, you just basically do whatever your parents tell you to do with no questions asked. So I said, fine, I'm gonna learn this new language, which I did. I can speak Italian fluently. And I met a lot of new faces, a lot of interesting people, and Italy became my home. My heart is there, my heart will always be there. So it's very hard. My father told us that he's retiring from the game of basketball and that it was time for us to come back to America. I didn't want to come back, and my sisters didn't want to come back. But when it was time to start school, I thought that me and my sisters would be together, the same school, just like in Italy. But my sisters were older than I was. They were starting high school. So Sheree and Shay attended Lower Marion High School, and I was stuck at Bala Cynwyd Middle School. Yeah. It was very hard getting adjusted, simply because I had a lot of trouble understanding English and the slang. But one thing I had in common with some of my other students and classmates was basketball. And unfortunately, because of the lack of communication with my peers, I wasn't invited to parties or friendly gatherings on the weekend. So on Fridays and Saturdays, I would go in my rec room with my basketball and basically dribble myself to sleep. And I think that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because during those lonely hours in the rec room, I discovered the hunger, the motivation, and the desire to be the best possible basketball player that I could be. And here I am today, giving an oral presentation in English class, not only in front of Mr. Rigby's camera, but the camera of Prism and ESPN. And I enjoy it. I enjoy all the attention, because it's a great feeling to know that you set a goal for yourself and you were able to reach that goal and to knock it down.
Thank you.
Kobe over here. You've talked about storytelling a lot this year and what you're going to do. Is this the perfect ending for your story? And how do you encapsulate this season and tonight?
Well, I mean, the perfect ending would have been a championship. That's perfect ending to me. But tonight was, trying to go out, playing hard, and try to put on a show as much as I possibly could. And it felt good to be able to do that one last time.
Kobe, wanted to ask you two questions. First of all, would you accept a script like this for your new story company? Would you accept or reject a script like this?
Yeah, after debates in the story room of why winning the championship is not in the question, then yes, I would have accepted this one.
But my serious question is, what does it mean to you? We know what a competitor you are. We've talked about that for 20 years. We've seen that in you. When you come through with a performance like this, which is what you wanted to do, what does it mean to you to be able to call on the abilities that you have to come through and look like your old self to some degree?
Honestly, I can't believe this actually happened, to be honest with you. It's kind of crazy to me. I still don't, it's hard to believe that it happened this way. It really is. I'm still in shock about it. And just, the outpouring of support all night long, and my, former teammates and the fans and my family. And it was just, it's unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. I'm still in shock about it. And I think now I'll allow myself to go back and read a lot of the things and watch some of the commentary and the videos and just kind of take it all in,
Dear basketball,
You gave a 6-year-old boy his Laker dream. And we both know, no matter what I do next, I'll always be that kid with the rolled up socks, garbage can in the corner, 5 seconds on the clock, ball in my hands. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Kobe was asking me to do what I love, to draw it by hand. You know, it's hand animation, very classical style that I grew up with. It was really a chance for me to live my own dream as an artist.
It was very important to be hand-drawn because the film itself is the fabric of it, the building of a dream you can't skip steps, right? You're crafting it. Right? So it's important that the film itself had that quality, that there was perfection in the imperfection, and the fluidity of the line. So it was extremely critical that it had that feel.
Hello. Look at the number.
81.
81.
Yes.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. After winning 5 NBA championships, now holding an Oscar, how do you feel?
It's I feel better than winning a championship, to be honest with you. I swear I do. It's you know, growing up as a kid, I dreamt of winning championships, you know, and working really hard to make that dream come true. But then, like, to have something like this seemingly come out of left field, you know, and like, you know, I heard a lot of people tell me when I started writing, and they would ask me, what are you going to do when you retire? And I'd say, well, I want to be a writer, I want to be a storyteller. And I got a lot of, yeah, that's cute, that's cute. You'll be depressed when your career is over and you'll come back to playing, you know. And I got that a lot. And so to be here right now and to have like a sense of validation is, dude, this is crazy, man. It's crazy.
Not only that, after the win, you don't have to sit in a tub of ice.
I don't. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Hey, John Foss, CW Twin Cities. Very excited to be talking with the one and only Kobe Bryant. This guy's a basketball legend, Academy Award winner, best-selling author, and now publisher. Kobe, tell us all about the Wizenard series training camp book that just came out.
It's about combining two of my passions, which is sports and fantasy and magic, right? And how can we merge those two to create a compelling story of growth and these young men go through a heck of a journey, man, of understanding like their inner fears and having the courage to face those, because those fears manifest themselves in magical ways on the basketball court. And so it's about them having like the courage to face those fears and come out of it better basketball players, but more importantly, better people.
Congratulations on your new book, The Mamba Mentality, being published globally. What really inspired you to make this book?
Well, the same thing that inspires me every day, which is just sharing the knowledge that I've learned over the course of 20 years, right? I mean, I've been studying writing for 15 years, and you learn how to organize a plot, how to organize the ebbs and flows of the story. And it's something I've been practicing for a very, very long time. The same attention to detail and focus that I had in playing basketball, I have in writing, I have in building the studio, right? So those things don't change. It seems like basketball and writing and building a studio have nothing to do with each other. It would seem that way, but it has everything to do with it, right? So I just changed discipline, but my focus is exactly the same.
In basketball
the
history,
body just will not allow him to be what he once was any longer.
No one understands what it takes to be great. The force that drives you to do what others don't.
The sacrifices made. the responsibility, you know, we have 2 daughters and we have another one on the way. And I just think that as parents, it's our responsibility to make sure we are educating our children, educating ourselves on how to protect our children and how to educate our children and set them up for success. Versus, as parents, I see this a lot of times where parents are just really hard on their children and pushing them relentlessly. You know, even if a son, you know, has an injury or something like that, they're yelling at the kid to get out there and perform. You gotta be tough, you gotta be tough. And sometimes parents use me as an example. It's like, look, he played through this, he played through that, you gotta play through this. And it's like, dude, hold on, dial back, man. I'm a professional, this is my job, right? This is different, I'm not a 10-year-old kid, right? So I think parents must understand to put their kids first, the kid, not the sport first, right? But the kid first. And I can't stress that enough. Many moons ago, when I was younger, AAU was really starting to come around. And we started seeing sports being played more and more. And now it's gotten to a point where it's basically a business. And a lot of these kids don't have the opportunity to let their bodies heal, don't have the opportunity to really grow as basketball players or as athletes because of all the pressure that's being put on them. And I think it's been going downhill for quite a while. And it's not about us as coaches and us winning or losing this game. It has nothing to do with this game. At this stage, it's really about helping these individual children, these kids, get better. How do you help them to become better people and better athletes? It's not about you and winning the game. And if you can remove yourself from that equation and just focus on teaching, then I think the kids' experience will be much better.
I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the 4th, the 5th, the minor fall and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
LA County Fire Department.
County CHP, I'm a transfer for you. Sir, you online? Go ahead.
I'm here, yeah. Helicopter crashed into a mountain. We heard it, and now I'm looking at the flames at Malibu Canyon and Agora Road. I'm at Erewhon Supermarket. We can see it.
Do you know how far is it from the location where you are?
A quarter mile.
Okay. Is it a small plane?
Yeah. It was a helicopter.
Oh, a helicopter?
Yeah.
And you saw the helicopter go into the hills?
Yeah, and we're looking at the flames right now on the hill.
Okay. Malibu Canyon Road and Agora Road, you said?
That's where I'm at right now. Where would you off of? I mean, you would
off of Malibu Canyon, Las Virgenes.
Las Virgenes.
To the left side.
To the left of Las Virgenes, if you're going towards the ocean.
Yeah.
So it's off Malibu Canyon and Las Virgenes?
Is that Las Virgenes or Malibu Canyon? It's Las Virgenes.
Las Virgenes and Malibu Canyon Road, you said?
No, Las Virgenes and I would say Mulholland.
Okay, you keep changing it. So Las Virgenes and Mulholland is where you see.
Yeah.
Yes?
Las Virgenes, cross street would be Mulholland.
Okay, and the city is?
Not that far out there.
What city are you in?
Agora Hills.
Because that's the Malibu area.
Yeah, it is the Malibu area.
Okay, so Las Virgenes and Mulholland and Malibu is where you see the plane go down?
Yeah, where I'm standing is the Erewhon Supermarket off of Agora Road, and that's where I can see it, but that's not where it's at, obviously. I mean, I'm hearing sirens just now, so.
Okay, we have help on the way.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
148.
Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof. Her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to the kitchen chair. She broke your throne and she cut your hair. And from your lips she drew the hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Welcome, Vanessa Bryant.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for being here. It means so much to us. Love you too. First, I'd like to thank everyone for coming today. The outpouring of love and support that my family has felt from around the world has been so uplifting. Thank you so much for all your prayers. I'd like to talk about both Kobe and Gigi, but I'll start with my baby girl first. My baby girl. Gianna Bryant is an amazingly sweet and gentle soul. She was always thoughtful. She always kissed me goodnight and kissed me good morning. There were a few occasions where I was absolutely tired from being up with Bianca and Capri, and I thought she had left to school without saying goodbye. I'd text and say, "No kiss?" And Gianna would reply with, "Mama, I kissed you, but you were asleep and I didn't want to wake you." She knew how much her morning and evening kisses meant to me, and she was so thoughtful to remember to kiss me every day. She was Daddy's girl, but I know she loved her mama, and she would always tell me and show me how much she loved me. She was one of my very best friends. She loved to bake. She loved putting a smile on everyone's face. Last August, she made a beautiful birthday cake for her daddy. It had fondant and looked like it had blue agate crystals. Kobe's birthday cake looked like it was professionally decorated. She made the best chocolate chip cookies. She loved watching cooking shows and cupcake wars with me, and she loved watching Survivor and NBA games on TV with her daddy. She also loved watching Disney movies with her sisters. Gigi was very competitive like her daddy, but Gianna had a sweet grace about her. Her smile was like sunshine. Her smile took up her entire face, like mine. Kobe always said she was me. She had my fire, my personality, and sarcasm, but she was tender and loving on the inside. She had the best laugh. She was so full of life and had so much more to offer this world. I cannot imagine life without her. Mommy, Natalia, Bianca, Capri, and Daddy love you so much, Gigi. I will miss your sweet handmade cards, your sweet kisses, and your gorgeous smile. I miss you, all of you, every day. I love you. Okay. For my soulmate. Kobe was known as a fierce competitor on the basketball court. The greatest of all time, a writer, an Oscar winner, and the Black Mamba. But to me, he was Kobe, my boo-boo, my baby, my papi chulo. I was his Vibi, his principesa, his reina, his queen mamba, and his Visky, Maniski, Fabuliski. I couldn't see him as a celebrity, nor just an incredible basketball player. He was my sweet husband and the beautiful father of our children. The kind of man that wanted to teach the future generations to be better and keep them from making his own mistakes. He always liked working and doing projects to improve kids' lives. He taught us all valuable lessons about life and sports through his NBA career, his books, his show Detail, and his Punies podcast series. And we're so thankful he left those lessons and stories behind for us. He was thoughtful and wrote the best love letters and cards, and Gigi had his wonderful ability to express her feelings into paper and make you feel her love through her words. She was thoughtful like him. They were so easy to love. Everyone naturally gravitated towards them. They were funny, happy, silly, and they loved life. They were so full of joy and adventure. God knew they couldn't be on this earth without each other. He had to bring them home to heaven together. Babe, you take care of our Gigi. And I got Nani, Bibi, and Coco. We're still the best team. We love and miss you, Boo Boo and Gigi. May you both rest in peace and have fun in heaven until we meet again one day. We love you both and miss you forever and always. Mommy.
I have a big decision coming up, and that's whether or not you go to college or straight to the NBA. The thing that bothers me the most about this decision is when I'm walking down the street, I'm walking in the mall, going to get a hat or something, and somebody I've never, ever seen before comes up to me and tells me what they want me to do. I'm like, what's going on here? I know you. I mean, they're coming up to me and they're saying, well, I think you should do this. I think you do that. I want you to do this. This is what I think you're going to do. And I'm just sitting there listening like, oh, okay, nice. Thank you. Okay, nice meeting you. Bye-bye. But, you know, it comes with the territory, and I move on and I understand that. I've admired a lot of people such as Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Emmitt Smith, and entertainers such as Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson. But the two people that I admire the most are my mother and my father, because when things were going great, or whether things were going bad, they were always there for me. For instance, if I just played a great basketball game, had 40 points or whatever, I'm getting all this positive feedback from people who were at the game. My head's swelling up and everything. My parents would be the first people to tell me, hey, look, you played a great game, but there's no need for your head to get all big. There's no need for you to get cocky and think that the world owes you something. But and at the same time, when things are bad, things are going bad, they would come up to me and say, hey, you know, there's another day, the sun will come out tomorrow. It's time for you to move on and go for bigger sights, set some bigger goals. I thank them, I love them with all my heart. And I thank you all, you've been a great audience, and thank you.